There are two ways to get citations wrong, and most people worry only about one of them. I'm Dr. Jones, and today we'll talk about both. We'll talk about what to do when you're not citing enough, and also what to do when you're citing too much. By the end of the video, you'll know better where that line is. Here's the rule that covers both problems. Cite whenever you're using someone else's findings, data, theories, or specific ideas, whether you're quoting them directly or putting them in your own words. But you don't need a citation for common knowledge or for your own original analysis. Get this wrong in either direction, and it causes a different problem. This sentence states a specific statistic, but presents it like it's common knowledge. A specific research finding like this always needs a citation, no matter how well known it sounds. This one is a little sneakier. The first sentence is cited, but the next two sentences are also Diaz's findings. Remember, this is a fake source that we made up for this video, so don't go looking for it. Once you drop the attribution, that parenthetical citation, it reads like your own analysis, even though it isn't. The fix: keep the source connected to every idea that's actually theirs. The way this is done on the right-hand side of the screen is by connecting the ideas into one sentence, so it keeps Diaz's work all in one place. Now let's flip to the opposite problem, citing too much. Some people think you can't do this, but this is actually possible. People can be so afraid of plagiarizing that they end up citing way, way, way too much. On the left-hand side, we have widely known general knowledge. This is the kind of fact that anyone in the field would already know. It doesn't need a citation at all, and adding one actually makes your writing possibly look less confident. On the right-hand side is a correct version. Children develop language skills throughout their youth. Here, this is what I see in some of my students' writing when they are worried about plagiarizing. They cite every single sentence. Here, the same citation gets repeated, but once you've established that you're discussing Diaz's research, you don't need to recite every sentence. One citation can cover a full, sustained discussion. This last example, repeating the same citation every sentence, is another example of something that's totally legitimate in APA to do, where you can have multiple sentences that refer to the same source. So here's our example: Diaz 2021, the next sentence Diaz 2021, and at the very end of that sentence, Diaz 2021. So clearly this is somebody who is trying to convince us that they know Diaz 2021 wrote this and has these ideas. One other way you can do it is to start off with the Diaz 2021. And then as soon as you get to the next sentence, if you want to make sure that your readers know you're still talking about the same author or authors, you can mention their name, but don't put the date. This is legitimate in APA if you make sure to just do it in one paragraph. If you were going to go to a new paragraph and you were going to talk about Diaz 2021, you'd have to make sure to put the year again. But this way, Diaz 2021 studied read-aloud habits and found notable vocabulary gains. Diaz, no year, also noted that retention improved over time, and 50% of all entering kindergartners retained more fluency when their caregivers read to them for half an hour a day. So if it's appropriate to mention the author's name again, you can do it without the date. Just make sure, like I said, that you're using that strategy within the same paragraph where you've already shared the date of publication. The other sort of disclaimer to this is that let's just say that you have 2 Diaz's in this thing that you're writing. Then you do want to be careful and you do want to make sure to use the year each time. But if you're just using the 1 Diaz source in your paper, then you can use the strategy on the right-hand side of your screen with the full permission of APA. Sometimes it can be hard to find that line between citing too much and not citing enough, but hopefully this video has helped you define where that is just a little bit better. If this video did help, please consider subscribing. Next time we'll talk about how to set up your APA paper and hopefully how to use some little tips in Microsoft Word to make that happen a little easier for you. Until next time, thank you for watching.